This is something that's been on my mind for the past few days as I've reflected on the first half of this year, and it literally takes 6 months. All it takes is 6 fucking months. And you might be like, what are you talking about? To change your entire life, the entire trajectory of your life, all it takes is 6 months of truly locking in, figuring it out, and knowing what you want to do. End of last year, going into this year, I was at my worst spot financially that I had ever been due to some bad decisions and, complacency. At the beginning of this year, I told myself, I'm going to scale coaching, I'm going to scale content, I'm going to post more frequently like I was, and I'm going to get myself and my fiance, future wife, into a better position for the future. Now, with the help of God above and Him giving me the plan and the platform to do so, it happened. In just 6 months, I've paid off all my debt. I've bought my dream car, got a roof over my head. I'm able to order my fiance whatever she wants to eat. I'm able to go into the grocery store, Instacart all my groceries whenever, and just not look at the bill, just hit order, or just Apple Pay it. And that is something that a lot of people overlook, the small things. But all it took was 6 months from January 1st to now to lock in and know what I want. I'm currently 2.5 days out from my first show of the year to requalify, and this is the best physique I'm bringing. I have my dream physique, my dream car, and a dream life. And none of that would be possible without you guys, without God above, and without just locking in. So please, for me, lock in and figure it out.
All right, y'all seen it, man. That was Me Tree Fit. I've been seeing his stuff on TikTok for a while. I'm not gonna act like I'm clouded and I actually know him, but that video was dope as hell. A lot of the videos he makes are dope as hell. Very straightforward and very applicable. But like he said, bro, I promise to God, 6 months does change your life. But the thing is, like, people don't realize, like, one of the things is you have to be excited about your goals. You have to be excited about what you wrote down for the 6 months. Like, you have to future pace. You have to realize the power of the compound effect, and you have to continually read over and over your goals. Like, those 6 months goals, you got to read them. So, for example, if you're trying to get out 30, I remember my goal was like, let me get out 30K of debt in the next 6 months. Depending on who you talk to, some people might be like, oh, that's cake. Some people may be like, oh man, that's hard. That's hard. It just depends on who you talk to. But when you read that goal over and over and you obsess about it, you're now going to start to find solutions to that. So when you write down your goals, like, really, really, after this video, right, set some fucking goals for 6 months and actually read those goals, right? And then write them down, think about them, envision how you feel when you're at that goal, and then start to future pace. Because what's going to happen is, when you believe those goals will happen, you're going to start to focus on solutions instead of problems. Because a lot of times people are like, oh yeah, I can't lose fat because of genetics. I have bad genetics. No, the fuck you don't. You're just lazy. Or, oh, I can't lose fat because, I'm so busy. That has nothing to do with it. You should be skinny if you're busy. Or they'll be like, oh, I can't go to the gym because I don't have time. I have a family. Just dumb shit like that, right? They're focused on problems, not solutions. That's why they'll never get to their goals. When you write down your goals and you're very, very serious about it, like, 6 months would will literally change your entire fucking life. Like, I remember the beginning of 2016. I mean, your boy was absolutely, like, I created the word cooknified. I was absolutely cooked. I didn't even have a driver's license, bro. I was like, how old was I? Like 20, 19? I was like 19, no driver's license. No, yeah, I had no driver's license. I didn't have a personal training license, didn't have a nursing license, I didn't have any muscle. People used to disrespect me. That year, by the end of that year, right, it was two 6 month phases. By the end of that year, I had my LPN license, I had a personal training license, I had training experience. I was a top salesman at the gym. You know what I mean? I put on 30 pounds, of mass, 30, 40 pounds of mass. Some of it was muscle, obviously. Some of it was fat, but your boy needed fat. I was skinny as shit. And literally, I would show people the picture, and they'd be like, "Oh wow, man, that was crazy, man. How many years? That was about 8 years ago, huh? Because you're 26, right?" I was like, "No, dude, that was the beginning of this year." They're like, "The fuck? No way, bro." And I was like, "Yeah, bro, way, bro." Like, when you really lock in and you're serious about some shit, when you're very sick of where you are now, when you're completely sick of where you are now, when you are, pissed off about where you are now, that's when you are gonna really get to your goal. Like, you can use anger and rage if you need to, like Kurapika does. All right, you can use anger and rage to accomplish your goals, because it does work, right? But what Kurapika made a vow to himself, right? He made a vow to himself, that he would, avenge his race by taking out the Phantom Troop and all that stuff. You have to make a commitment like that to yourself. Like, you're going to become the best version of yourself no matter what. You have to remember how it feels, Like in your worst moments generally, how you respond to those will define who you are. Because when you're in your worst moment and everything sucks, you're out of shape and people disrespect you, and you have like you're on overdraft in your debit account and your credit account is like negative 5,000, and you're just like you're stressed out. How you respond to that is going to dictate your life, because you can be a victim or you can be a victor. That's it. That's it. Because if you stay in the victim mindset, what's going to happen? Go get a payday loan. You're just going to keep doing instant gratification shit. Or you can make a plan, write down a plan and be like, okay, this is how I'm going to get out of this, right? Because the time is going to pass regardless. This is how I'm going to get out of this. 6 months from now, I'm going to be in better shape, right? I'm going to be in better shape. I'm going to be lean. I'm going to have my finances together. I'm going to have this together, relationship together. This is that, all that stuff, right? When you write down those goals, they will happen because you're literally manifesting them, putting them into existence. When you write something down, you think about it, all right? And then you think about how to accomplish it. Very simple. Like if you're like, I want to lose 10% body fat. A lot of people say that and they never act on it because they don't write it down. They don't set that goal. Goals give you intention, right? They're like, I want to lose 10% body fat. They've been saying that for 30 years. And then during those 30 years, they gained 30% body fat because they never took action on that goal because they never wrote it down. If you write down, hey, I want to lose 10% body fat. Next thing you're going to think is, well, how do I do that? That's what you're going to think next. And then you're going to start eating. You're going to be like, whoa, this crumble cookie goes against my goals, right? Then you're going to cut out the crumble cookie and you're going to be like, let me try an apple. You're going to take small steps forward, right? Small step forward, because that's how it works, man. That's how it works. And then another thing is, like, you really want to change your mindset during those 6 months. You start reading more, right? Maybe you haven't picked up a book in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. I know a lot of people don't read. Open up a book, read 10 pages a day. That shit will change your life. It'll literally change your mindset, because books are only written by victors. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of times it's the adversity they've been through. And it really helps you too, because you're going through adversity. So reading, you feel me? Working out, getting the best shape of your life, getting your finances together, getting everything together, that'll change your life. 6 months is all it takes, right? 6 months of going towards one goal. All right, going towards a financial goal, a physical goal, a mindset goal, maybe relationship goals. Like, that's what's going to help you. And a lot of people just do not take the time to go towards one goal. A lot of people are on this, they're still on this wave. This has been something for going on for, forever in the fitness industry. Is people who are cutting and bulking. They're like, nah, man, I'm finna cut, man. But I don't know. I don't want to lose too much size. And after 2 weeks of cutting, they're still fat as shit, but they're like, nah, I'm losing too much size. I'm like, no, you're not. They just want to binge eat, right? Because they don't like being uncomfortable. So they stay at maintenance because they cut, bulk, cut, bulk, cut, bulk, right? People do the same thing for finances. Like, yo, man, I'm locked in, man. I'm cutting it out. I'm not going out drinking. I'm not gambling. Next thing you know, they're gambling, playing dice or some shit, or they're on FanDuel losing all their money, and then they're like, man, I feel horrible. Then they go out drinking. Then they holler at some chicks who don't want them, type shit. Like, that's what happens. Those cycles just continue and continue and continue. All right, so really set some, like, if you're serious about goals. I know everyone's not serious about goals. A lot of people are comfortable where they are. It is what it is. Like, I've talked to a lot of people on the phone, on Zoom calls, my bad. And I can tell, I can tell. That's why I like Zoom calls, because I can look at facial expressions and body language. I can tell when people are like, yeah, man, I'm ready, man. I want to get lean. I can tell when they actually want to get lean and when they don't want to. It's very obvious. A lot of times they're like, yeah, I want to get lean. I want to get lean. And it's like they're so focused on the end result and they're not willing to change anything. They're like, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to change that. I'm like, bro, what you're doing now is keeping you where you are now. Where you are now is because what you're doing now. If you want to get further, you got to do more. It's that simple. You see what I'm saying? But a lot of people do not want to do more. They're like, wait, why do I have to do more? Isn't there, if there was a way to do what you're doing now to get to the goal you're trying to get to, you would be at the fucking goal. If your 25% body fat self did the exact same thing to get to the 10% body fat self, you would be at 10%, but you're obviously not, because you're obviously doing all the wrong things. A lot of people don't actually want to commit and do those things. They don't want any discomfort. All right. I know I say you have to get used to discomfort. I'm not even talking about significant discomfort. All right. And I'm talking about mostly beneficial stuff. Like, you're going to feel better once you push past the first few hunger pangs and stuff like that. You're going to feel much, much better. Your body's going to feel better. You're going to feel lighter. Your mental is going to be clearer. You're going to have more energy. All those things are going to happen. Your doctor's going to be like, yo, your blood work is fucking beautiful. Jesus. Your vitals, beautiful. Like, that's what's going to happen. All right. So I know I say discomfort, but honestly, it's not discomfort. I would say David Goggins workouts, MMA workouts, a boxer in fight camp. That's like uncomfortable. All right. That's uncomfortable. That's a lot of discomfort. A regular aesthetic workout, eating in a regular calorie deficit, I don't think that's discomfort. If you think that's discomfort, you just have really low standards for yourself. All right, but just think about this, guys. If you're watching this video, just remember 6 months will change your life. Now, 6 months of intentional execution. All right. Not 6 months of doing some shit. 6 months of intentional execution. Like I said, if you're trying to lose 10%, which listen, 10% body fat in 6 months is really good. You could obviously lose up to 15, but you really have to change your mindset, which can take a month or two. All right. It could take 2 months to like really start to shift your mindset even a little bit to be consistent. Like, for example, if you have a 6 month journey, it might take you 2 months to lock in, really lock in and be consistent with nutrition. It might take you 6 months to finally be consistent with nutrition, right? But when you are intentional for 6 months, when you're doing what you need to do for a 6 month period of time, right? You're going in one direction for 6 months, you can really change your life. But yeah, intentional execution for 6 months, not being in the gym, watching movies on your phone or texting on your phone the whole time, and not buying healthy food but ordering DoorDash. All right, like I don't like I hate when people say like, well, I buy healthy food. Who cares? Do you fucking eat it? No, you don't. So why are you saying you buy it? Do you think buying healthy food, like, it doesn't matter if you buy healthy food, right? You just have to. Are you eating it? No, you're door dashing. So why are you saying that? It doesn't matter if you go to the gym. Are you actually working out or are you on your phone? You see what I'm saying? So 6 months of intentional execution will do it for you. All right, budgeting your calories and budgeting your finances. Lock in, fellas.